Hey, what did everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day. The other day I had someone put a comment up, hey, I saw your silver end dump the other day and I think you should do more trucking related content. So you guys are in luck today. We got the end dump. So the valve that adjusts the ride height on the rear axles, when I went to go get loaded up this morning, it decided to take a dump. And basically it's riding on the rear saddles, which is super, super bad. So basically you have these little bump stops down here for when you're dumping because you don't want any sway on this thing. You guys can see the bags don't have any air in them. Well, the valve that was right here, and I'll show you guys that in a little bit, it decided to quit working and these bags were completely deflated. So metal on metal going down the street is never good. So we're gonna get that switched out. There might be some other stuff in this video, but hope you guys enjoy it. Let's go ahead and jump on into it and let's roll.
I came from the mud, there's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree, there's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon. They sing on a sleepless night. Try to catch me howling at the moon.
All right, so I got the new valve right here. You guys can see that there are a couple slight differences. It's got 4 mounting holes instead of just the 2 that this one has, but they do still line up, so that's not gonna be an issue. This part right here, this is what rotates back and forth. This is actually what controls the valve on the inside to adjust the ride height. So basically, I gotta take all the fittings off of this guy, transfer them over to this one. You guys can see that I've kind of already started on that. So as soon as I get all this switched onto this, we can go ahead and go over to the truck, install this, put the ride height lever in here, and then I think we'll be back in business. I'm really hoping that this is the part. If not, well, back to the drawing board, and I don't think I'm getting more material today, but pretty sure this is it, so let's go and get it switched over. So I know the workbench is a disaster, and I apologize, but let's go ahead and get this taken care of. So this is the first fitting that I took off. Anytime you guys reuse old fittings, just try and clean them up like the best you can. Put new Teflon tape on it. Some guys prefer like the liquid sealant stuff. I like Teflon tape, it's cheap, easy, and I have pretty good luck with it. So we're gonna do this first one real quick, get this on there. I think that pivots, yep, okay, so there's that one. All right, it's pretty straightforward. Got everything switched over. We got this little deal up top. I think it's a check valve. Don't quote me at that. I'm not 100% sure, but we got the 90 right here, the plug in here, and then we're gonna go install this thing. And then hopefully, cross your fingers, that fixes the problem because I gotta get out of here. All right, now before we put this thing like 100% back together, it's super easy to tell if this thing's actually working. You guys can see we got the lines hooked up on it. I'm gonna go ahead and pressurize the trailer and then it'll instantly start to lift these up. And then from there, we can adjust this thing around. So I'm gonna have to start the truck up because I went ahead and drained the tanks. So it's gonna take a little bit of air to go ahead and get that thing back to where it needs to be. So we'll go ahead and fill up the trailer. All right, go ahead and close this guy off so the tanks can fill back up. And then these 2 knobs right here control the axles. When you push this one in, it actually lifts this axle up off the ground. When you push this one in, it's supposed to fill up the rear one. So let's see if it works. You can do it. You can do it. Get a little bit nervous that they're not gonna do it. So come on. Come on, girls. Let's go. Let's go, come on. I'm starting to think it wasn't the valve. Starting to think it's that guy right there. What a sad day. Well, even though that valve was in bad shape, I don't think that was the problem. And this is kind of why I got out of the dump trucking business, is because stuff like this always happens. I ended up spraying some mass airflow sensor cleaner in there just because it's not like super harsh, kind of like brake cleaner or carb cleaner. But I went ahead and put it on the truck, and then you guys can tell that when I go ahead and energize it, you guys can hear the air coming out. That's because air is now passing through it. So I think we're getting closer. I'm gonna go ahead and take it back off, put it back onto the float valve thing, whatever that is, and then we're gonna put it back on and hopefully, because I gotta get out of here, hopefully that fixes it. All right, so it turns out I was just an idiot and this was good the whole time. I still do have like a very minor leak coming out of this thing, which I will get resolved. I just have to find this piece. They didn't have one at Wetmore, so I'm gonna have to order one, but you guys can see this guy right here as we rotate it. You guys can see the bags start filling up. We're almost back in business. Today's a good day. So So I'm gonna go ahead and figure out how to adjust these a little bit. You guys can see these about to pop out right now. It'll go boop. There we go. Looking good. Almost there. All right, so the ride height adjuster is through this hole right here. So we're gonna go ahead and back this off a little bit. Actually, a lot of bit. So I couldn't do this again if I tried. As I was trying to thread this piece in here, I let the air out, and while you guys can see these saddles right here, pinch the mechanism. So I'm gonna have to unbolt this now, take it off, manually rotate this, pump it back up, so I can go ahead and get this thing out. Come on, James. It's a special day, you know. Oh, drop that. Okay. All right. Whatever you do, do not put your fingers in there, because you won't have a finger anymore after that. Come on, come on. Let's go. It kind of survived. I think we'll be all right. Death to that hose clamp, that's for sure. See, that's what happened. Scary. All right. Go ahead and wedge this guy back on there. All right, so we are back in business. You guys can see that there is air in the bags. So basically what happens is when you put a load on this thing, these bags are gonna compress. And then as these go down, this actually will lift up because the axle is getting closer to the frame, which will rotate the valve, which will in turn put more air into these bags. So pretty simple concept. As these get squished down, that puts more air in it, fills them back up, maintains the same ride height. But we are back in business. I'm gonna go ahead and close this back door and get on the road. I can't do that one-handed. All right, so just one last thing I gotta do before we take off. That's a quick functions test. So this guy right here should do nothing. That's not what it's supposed to do. Come on. You guys, having a rough day. Come on. Come on, do your thing. No, not today. I don't know what's going on. Getting slightly aggravated. Does this guy do what it's supposed to? Yep, that one does what it's supposed to. Come on. I don't know what's going on. I'll figure that one out when I get back. I got air ride for now, so at least I can get back on the road. All right, we just got back from picking up another load. I guess it's time for the moment of truth. Let's see if the dirt road shook loose what was wrong. Cross your fingers, let's go. Still doesn't work. I'm not sure what's going on. Yeah, I don't know. Let's go ahead and let the air out of the system a little bit. I really don't know what's going on. I don't know if the pressure is too high, but for now, I need to get this to drop down so we can go ahead and dump this thing, and I can take it down to the shop and figure out what's going on in greater detail. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys why this is kind of a big deal. So right now you guys can see that the end dump is pretty much fully extended. It could probably go up like another 6 inches, but this thing sits so high. I mean, there's the top of the truck. This guy is really up there. So let's say that you're dumping, you still have quite a bit of material in there. And then let's say that these bags are still inflated, they're all the way up. That bag over there decides to explode. That side's gonna drop so fast. And if this thing has a lot of weight, there's a good chance that this thing could tip over. And when these tip over, usually takes the truck with it. So that's why all this stuff is so crucial, because there's really not a whole lot of room for error when you're doing something like this. These things are super easy to tip over, and I hope to never join that club. But this thing, no joke, is probably, I wanna say like 35 feet in the air right now, maybe even 40. It is up there, but let's go ahead and double check, make sure that we got everything out. We're good. I'm gonna go ahead and set this thing back down. So before I go ahead and set this thing down, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys So before I set this down, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys something real quick. This end dump is longer than most end dumps, and I don't know how many stages most end dump cylinders are, but this guy's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stages. This is a huge hydraulic cylinder, but let's go ahead and get this thing back on the ground. All right, well, I've crawled underneath this trailer probably like 20, maybe 25 times today. And I think I have it narrowed down. I think it's this stupid little piece right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and try and describe what this thing does. So this is the main feed from the tank. You got a lot of pressure coming into this line. And then from here, it goes into this regulator or the height valve or whatever you wanna call this thing. And then it comes out, goes into the air bags, and then this splits it between the two bags. Well, so when this line is pressurized, basically it allows the air from this line. When you take the pressure away from this line, it's supposed to release the pressure completely out of the system, which dumps the bags. And it's not doing that. So for the time being, I am able to like redneck engineer it a little bit. I am able to get the trailer to sit down in those little saddles that are down there so we don't have the trailer tip over when we're dumping. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys something else pretty cool I am pretty excited about. I'm not 100% done with it, but it is pretty exciting. So let's go ahead and shift gears a little bit. I'm gonna show you guys something that we set up in the shop the other night. All right, well, we're going at it with the old push broom. It was just taking too long. So Zach ran down and grabbed the Ryobi leaf blower because the Milwaukee one, well, not gonna lie guys, it took a dump, and the Ryobi one's still going strong.
Does this thing have like a lock that you could lock the trigger on?
No, it's not that fancy.
It's a one-up for Milwaukee.
Well,
My trigger finger gets tired, guys.
maybe it does, I don't know.
Well, what's this guy do?
That changes the angle of the dangle. I don't think it does.
That's important, but I don't think it does.
It's got boost mode.
That's what I boost.
All right, well, we let the dust settle. We're gonna head around back. It's gonna be super dark back there, so you guys aren't gonna be able to see much, but you guys miss him yet? I do. All right, so like I said, it's super dark back here, so we're gonna use the old phone for some light, but this is the car lift. I'm thinking we can lift piece by piece. What do you think?
I ate my Wheaties this morning.
All right. So you guys aren't, oh, whoop, whoop.
Here, let me go back here.
So you guys aren't gonna see none of this. We're just gonna get into the shop, and then from there, you guys will see us put this thing together. We got everything in here. A little bit of a workout, a little bit on the sweaty side. Zach ended up taking his hoodie off. He's getting pretty sweaty. So we're gonna have to do some quick research on the internet because we're not 100% sure how to put this thing together. I don't know what side the cylinders go on, if it's front or back or what, but.
Redneck ingenuity.
Yeah, I'd rather get this one put together. All right, so we're just sitting here doing some research, and even though I got this one, I would say almost for free, we're just doing some research on the internet, and came across this gem right here. 40,000 pound lift capacity. It's only $31,000. Financing, $950. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that's what I really need. But I think my shop would have to be probably what, like 10 feet taller for something like that to work.
The roof?
Yeah, my Peterbilt barely fits underneath that door as it is. The stacks are like that far below the edge. So
You've always wanted
first things first. Sunroof, no. I want like insulated with air conditioning. But first things first. Baby steps. We're gonna get this guy put together. All right, well, I think we're getting somewhere. We got a picture right here. This one is the HDS 014, even though I don't know what that is, but look at the price tag on this thing, 10 grand. Let's see, oh, this is the 14,000 pound one. That's kind of a big boy though. Looks like the engine or hydraulic motor goes on the back right.
No, it's back left.
No, that's driver's side.
Yeah, that's the left side of your truck.
Yeah, I mean if you're looking at the truck.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Whatever. All right, so we thought all the uprights were the same. They look pretty similar, but there are some slight differences. So I had to like go way back in the archives, and I did find the one picture that I took of it. So I think with that picture, we'll be able to figure it out. On this guy right here, you can see that it has like a mounting tab for the hydraulics, and I think from there we'll be able to figure out the rest. All right, so after much deliberation, we finally figured out the placing on the poles. This one goes there. That one right there is identical to that one. And then these guys are the ones that are a little bit different. You guys can see that they have like a square peg round holes. And these guys right here, they just have just a single round hole without any other nuts or bolts that go on this guy. So that's the one that the hydraulic motor goes on to. And I think from there, I think we can figure the rest out. All right, you think we can do this? This is one of the heavy ones, yeah?
No.
Oh, okay. So not that it's a problem, but things just got a little bit harder. I definitely would have done this a little bit different, but since this is already up there, we just discovered that the chain basically has to wrap around, comes back this way, and then there's a roller right here that it rolls around, and then it goes through this tube all the way to the other end where there's another roller, where from there it drops down the post. So we gotta figure out a way to fish a piece of rope or something from that side to this side so we can pull this super long section of chain through that tube right there. Remember when you were making fun of my expensive hooks about 10 minutes ago?
Well, yes, but I will say to this, your nice expensive hooks with the long reach, I don't need long reach here, sir.
Ah, whatever. All right, so we're getting kind of close, and I've always wondered how one cylinder can lift up both sides equally, and I think I about have it figured out. It might make sense to you guys in just a little bit for those of you who are not familiar, but so far, we've got the chain ran right here. We do have the chain ran down here. It's hooked up on this side, so we're gonna go ahead and lift up this cross piece, get it hooked up, and then I'll show you guys the two other chains that actually make this work. Well, like usual, it's taking a little bit longer than I initially planned, but you guys can see we got that cross member, this cross member, all the chains are around where they're supposed to. So basically what ends up happening is you have the chain that's connected to the top up here, and then it runs down, and it comes underneath, and then it connects to the bottom of the pole right there. So as this pulls up, that chain has nothing that it can do other than lift up that side. So it's pretty clever how it works. So something that I've always wondered is how one hydraulic cylinder is able to lift from 4 posts separately at the same rate. And now I know. I never knew until I actually put this thing together, but it's actually pretty clever. So we're about as far as we're gonna get tonight. The last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and set like the horizontal pieces or the ramps, which you actually drive the car up onto. And that'll kind of give us a better idea of where we actually want to place it in here. Then from there we have to actually fasten it to the concrete so it doesn't like fall over while I'm working underneath it. But we're just about there. So as soon as we get these things on, there's another small set of ramps that you drive up onto it. And then that's gonna be about it. So it never fails. Literally the last piece that we're gonna be installing was this little ramp right here. We're missing the pin that runs through here that basically connects this ramp to that guy right there. We're missing one piece for this entire build. We don't know where it went. We're gonna go take a quick look, but other than that, this thing's pretty much put together. I mean, I got a lift. Other than, oh, go ahead.
No, can't complain, you got a lift.
Yeah.
Now it just needs a project car.
Needs a what?
A project car.
I know, like a Camaro. All right, well, we didn't find the metal rod, but I did find a drill bit that kind of fits perfectly. So for the time being, I think this will support the Camaro's weight. So we're gonna go ahead and slide this bad boy on in. Perfect. Oh, looks like I missed. Let's see. Oh, getting somewhere? All right. I think we're in. Money. All right, well, I think that's about as far as we're gonna get tonight. Pretty much it's like completely done, other than fastening it to the floor. I think I need to scoot it back just a little bit. But I'm pretty excited, so I couldn't have done it without Zach. Huge thanks, man. We'll catch you later.
Till next time.
All right, I'm gonna put the screws in this video. I am pretty excited about the car lift. Even though it's really not good for too much stuff that I have, it's pretty much just the Camaro, maybe the Suburban. It really is on the smaller side of things. It's gonna help out a lot when I actually get some time to work on the Camaro. And the Suburban's actually having some issues too that I gotta fix. So I am excited to have it. But I'm gonna go and put the screws in this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you do me a huge solid, like, subscribe, share this with amigos, hit that notification button down below so you guys can continue to see whatever else we got going on. And I'll see you guys next time. Later.